Now before this video starts, can I just take one moment to say please subscribe to the channel. We've had a massive influx of new followers and I want to try and keep that trend going. It keeps the guys at CyclingHub happy. On with the show. Hello everyone, welcome to CPNC Thursday edition. You know what's coming up? Badly researched news. Transition. I just want to give a massive shout out to each and every one of you that watch these videos, but especially those brand new followers to the channel. If you don't know what you're getting here, you're basically getting my take on cycling. Listen, it's not the forefront of journalism. It's just a fun and hopefully entertaining way of getting the news across to you as to what's happening in the cycling world. Also, before we start, can I just give a massive shout out to Veloskin. They just sent me this care package with these various items in. There was no nothing in it. They just sent it. I don't know if I'm getting invoiced for it. I really don't, but it's cool stuff. I'm going to pop a link into the description. They didn't ask for it, but I just feel like it was nice of them to send it. In fact, let's have a sniff of it while we're here. Oh, I'm getting essence of tea tree. Eucalyptus for external use only. Don't be using it as a lube, sunshine. You know that mint tea tree and mint shower gel when you put it on your and like you blow on it and it's just fresh. Not much going on there. There's a little bit. Chamois cream is where it's at for me. A little bit of chamois. Little fact for you: Cameron Jeffers never used chamois cream. That smells like my old hair. When I used to have American Crew in my hair when I was like a 17, 18-year-old cool dude, because well, that looks good. I can't wait to dip my finger in that and transfer it onto my short. If you do buy anything from them, put in the notes. You know when you can like put a note saying, leave at number 28, Cyril will take delivery of it or whatever. Just put in there, I bought this because of Chris Pritchard, and then it'll make me look good. Right, let's get into the news. We're going to be talking, and I know yesterday I mentioned that we're putting the conspiracy to bed, but just let me have a little, it's going mainstream and I just want to have a little talk about it. Also coming up in the news, Vegan Cyclist just posted a video. It seems to have been absent from YouTube for quite a few weeks now, and we know that he's been getting up to some amazing stuff. He just did Dirty Kanza, and we saw that on his Instagram, so we'll get to find out exactly where he's been and what he's been up to. First up, this video from Sigma Sport. If you've not seen it, as always, link in the description, go and watch it. Matt Stevens meets Fabian Cancellara. This is part of the Chasing Cancellara series where riders will get to ride alongside Fabian across some of the most epic routes in Switzerland.
Tranquilo. Hey, no way. Hey, tranquilo, huh? No. What? What's going on?
Fucking hell.
No, I just thought my bike broke.
No way.
And I brought my spare one.
Where you find that?
It's just a normal Pinarello.
It's hilarious. It's absolutely brilliant. Matt Stevens is nailing it. So make sure you go and watch it and give it a thumbs up. Tell them Pritch sent you again. Talking of videos, and over on Twitter, the Women's Tour dropped a great video about Dizzy Lightning. What? Dizzy Lightning! Talking of awesome videos, over on Twitter, the Women's Tour dropped a great little video about Lizzie Deignan winning the OVO Women's Tour. It's a great little insight into how she felt during the tour, and yeah, just go and watch it. It's a great little watch. It's only like a minute and a half. It's really worth checking it out.
Really was expecting to get worse and worse in this race. Yeah, so in the beginning I felt terrible, and I told my teammates felt terrible, and every single one of them came to me and gave me some words of encouragement. Oh,
before we go any further, does anybody want to know what Cameron Jeffers is up to tonight? Cam, what are you doing tonight?
Nailed two birds.
You're what?
Nailed two birds.
I'll be honest, I kind of meant training, but cool, that's cool, you know, each to their own. This is a story I meant to cover yesterday, but totally forgot. Peter Sagan's bike throw on stage 4 of the Tour de Suisse. Did you see that? I think he started that bike throw around, what, possibly 400 meters to go. It was the worst attempt at a bike throw ever. Pete, you want to know how to bike throw? Watch this.
In first round, the first 4 heats, and both Scottish riders finishing in the first 2 in their heats. And
that was a bike throw. But what did Chris Hoy think to it?
I mean, that was a fantastic ride from Chris Pritchard.
Oh no, so embarrassing. Now here at CPCN, we endeavour to bring you top draw journalism Facts that have been checked, triple checked and quadruple checked by our researchers. Not everybody can be as thorough as us here at CPCN. Recently, Killian Kelly wrote an article about Pavel Sivakov and his amazing Tour debut at the Giro this year, claiming that Pavel Sivakov was the first rider ever to finish in the top 10 of his debut Giro. Great stat, sounds amazing, but it's not true, because Pavel Sivakov rode the Vuelta last year. So I guess the takeaway from that one is to always check your facts. Do we check our facts? Is that true? Link in the description. Link in the description to check out that little blog post on the road book. So now let's move on to YouTube and cycling news and vegan news and mash it all together. What have we got? The Vegan Cyclist recently uploaded this video.
Bro, do I even make videos anymore? Where have I been? What's going on? All right, so this is just like an update video of kind of why I've been so quiet on just everything. And I'm just sort of trying to dig myself out of all of this of like Yosemite Cycling Camp, Dirty Kansas, being sick for a week, then another private camp, because I have a day job, dude. I have a day job.
I got wind a couple of days ago that this video might be coming when he took to Strava and left this in one of his ride descriptions. In a weird mental funk. Not sure if it's the antibiotics I took when sick, but man, I just feel blah. Anyone have motivation issues after taking antibiotics? And then on his next ride, he simply named it Trying to Find My Groove. So the beauty of being able to make your own videos is the fact that you can watch back your raw footage, and if you don't like it, you can refilm it again. And with Tyler's video, I don't feel I got my point across very well. So I thought once I'd edited the rest of the video, I'll come back to this and try and hit on the points that I was trying to make and kind of completely missed them really. So Tyler put out a video where he was basically telling everybody exactly where he was, what he was up to, why he hadn't been posted for a while. And it looks and it appears that he's been under what looks like a lot of stress. This is just my opinion from the outside looking in, but when you look at the amount of stuff he's doing, his private training camps, Yosemite training camp, Dirty Kansas, as well as a full-time job. And what I picked up from this video is that when he said to the camera, dude, I've got a full-time job, it looked like he was kind of admitting to everyone and saying, hey, listen, I've got a full-time job. So I don't know whether it's common knowledge that he does have a full-time job, or it was just a given that because he had such a big following on YouTube that YouTube was his full-time job. But it appears in that moment there that he's kind of saying, look, I've got a full-time job. I'm trying to provide food for my family. This YouTube thing isn't providing food for my family. I've got a full-time job, and that's kind of what I need to focus on to make sure that I bring money in to feed my kids and pay my rent or pay my mortgage, whatever it might be. Yeah, it just seemed a little strange. So I don't know. You can tell me down below if you're a fan of vegans, if you know much about him and his status. Were you under the impression that he was full-time YouTube, or did you know that he had a full-time job? And how does that change the way you view his content now? Do you give him a little bit more slack because you know that he's working on this, that and the other, and he can't produce more videos? Because, you know, as a creator, you feel like you've got an obligation to people who have subscribed, who have watched before, who support you, to keep putting content out. You know, you think of something like you can't compare a YouTuber to Game of Thrones, but I'm going to go there. Game of Thrones has a huge fan base, has a huge community. And what is Game of Thrones? Ultimately is an awesome program, but it is just, well, this season was low, but let's say 8 episodes in a season. These episodes run continually for 8 weeks, and then you see nothing for 2 years, 3 years sometimes, but still you're there ready to watch it when you get back in it. But with YouTube, you don't seem to get that. If you take a week off, if you take a day off, your subs can drop, your views can drop, and all of a sudden your videos that were getting recommended to everybody and making you grow and expand and get bigger and earn more money from it, all of a sudden you don't get that income, and ultimately your channel dies. It's difficult. It is really difficult. This is my full-time job. Right now what I'm doing, this is my full-time job. I get paid to do this. And even as a full-time job, being able to dedicate all my hours during my working day to this, it is still hard. So trying to juggle training camps and racing and running a cycling team and creating content and having a family, it's just a recipe for a disaster, for a YouTube. What's the word? What do people keep saying? What's that word? What's the word that loads of YouTube burnout? YouTube burnout. And that appears what Tyler's going through right now. He's got the content, he's filming the content, but he's just burnt out, and he just can't get around to editing it. And I fully understand it, and I fully appreciate it. You know, when you start YouTube, it's a fun hobby where you don't mind spending 3 hours in the editing suite making a nice video just to put out there. You're not looking for sponsorship, you're not looking for money, you're not trying to make a living out of it, you're just putting it out there. And then you start to grow, and then once you get to a certain point and you're growing quite large, it then starts to kind of morph into something that becomes more of an obligation to your audience to keep providing them with content. But also, you're getting to the point now where just a few more thousand subs and you could be potentially earning a full-time wage out of it. And at that point there is when it becomes essentially a full-time job. But if you're still working another full-time job, it's just really difficult to make it work. YouTube is a very, very hard game. And I can't blame Tyler for burning out or taking a step back from it, or, you know, not being that focused on it. But he's in such a great position. And again, he's just in that position where just a few more regular uploads, just keeping his community alive, keeping his community buoyed by the thoughts that they're going to keep getting videos from him, is going to hopefully get him to that point where he can turn it into a full-time profession, because what he's doing is great. And one thing as well, I think that anybody that creates YouTube, like I do, but creates it around their own life, runs the risk of having to tell people about themselves, having to tell them that this is not my full-time job, or I've been away because X, Y, and Z. Whereas when you're just creating content like I do now in terms of the new show, that you don't need to know about my personal life. Sometimes I'll try and do vlogs, but I can keep them very specific to cycling, similar to Cam, for instance. Cam puts the majority of his vlogs out are all about cycling, but if he hasn't uploaded for a while, or you don't see his girlfriend in the vlogs for quite a while, then there feels that there needs to be that explanation. And that's kind of what Tyler's doing there. He's explaining where he's at, what he's doing, what he's up to. And as a non-vlogger, you don't feel the pressure to have to do that. You just upload when you can and try and create a schedule and allow people to, if you are going to take a break, you can say, boom, we're doing this, and then we'll be back then. And then that's kind of it. But with a vlogger, you get into the habit of watching their videos over and over again. And when you don't get one of those videos, you start to question, like, what's happening? And they start to think, oh no, I need to be telling this audience exactly why I'm not uploading. So let me know in the comments below, how do you feel as an audience member watching people's vlogs? If they don't upload for a couple of days, do you feel like you're being shortchanged out of it? Do you feel like the people that create the content, like myself, owe you an explanation when they don't get uploaded? Or do you just kind of you just watch them as and when they come up, and you don't invest in them that much that if you don't see one for a couple of days you get annoyed? It'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on that as an audience member rather than a creator. And finally, we're just touching on it, just bear with me. Chris Froome conspiracy goes mainstream. Neil Rogers posted a great article on Cycling Tips about the conspiracies and ultimately the Chris Froome crash, as well as SBS running the headline, "Sport is full of conspiracy theories. Chris Froome's horrific crash is just the latest example," where they go into details again of the conspiracies and take a look at the different conspiracies throughout the decades in sport, from Muhammad Ali's Phantom Punch to Michael Jordan's retirement from basketball. Links, as always, in the description below. Go and check them out and give them a read. As always, here on CPCN, there's only one place to finish, and that's in the comment. Gotta read this one from Mocat4. Brand new subscriber. Thank you very much, Mocat. "You had me with the accents. Subscribe. Now I'm binge watching Chris Pritchard and wondering where you've been all my life. Insert heart emoji and bicycle emoji here." Mocat, thank you. Really appreciate it. Anybody else that's brand new, never commented before, leave your comments down below. Dan Lip knows how to make it into this comment section, doesn't he? "Chris, your new show has been first to my eyes and ears before GCN and Cycling Tips podcast. Keep up the rapid content with homegrown feel, and you could make something really good of this non-commercial and banter-filled channel." Banter-filled, yes. but the commercial aspect has changed. Fellow skin on sale from Chris Pritchard. Link in the description. Use the hashtag code ILovePritch for 99% off. Another Dan commented, right, enough is enough. Enough talk. It's a studio. If enough people question it, it ain't an office. It's a properly sorted studio. It's a bloody office. Another place I like to go for my comments is Cameron Jefferson's videos, especially when I've been in one. Let's take a look, see what they've been saying. Sean said, makes a very valid point here. In terms of coffee etiquette, is it not extremely rude to order a large flat white? I always thought flat whites were quite a specific measurement. Same with a cortado. I expect a short espresso and a short milk. I don't want much more than this. So yeah, is a large flat white not just a cappuccino without the froth? Jay Spaceman, Chris plays bass. It's Thumping Thursday. I have a bass. Don't play the bass very well, but I can play a few riffs. I'm working on it. Jason Abbott commented, nice little ride with Chris. He did look like he needed a cream tea after the beast of a ride. I had a scone. I mean scone. Listen, I only say scone because it's easier to say scone. You can say it much quicker, scone. Scone. I have to think about saying scone, where I can just say scone. But it is scone, okay? BMX XMB. Quick question, Cam. Do you leave your dogs for the whole night and day? Let me tell you this, he does. He normally, when he leaves his dogs, he puts them in the car out of the shade, so in direct sunlight, and then he'll go out for like an 8-hour ride. He doesn't really. God damn it, what kind of a world do we live in when I can't even make that joke and I have to say to you, don't phone the RSPCA. He doesn't do that. There we go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when we go live with our latest videos or we drop a live stream. I want you to be in there. If you're brand new to the channel, thank you for watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I have to say it twice to some people because most of you just don't listen. Till next time,